Good morning from the Snoqualmie Baker National Forest. I'm near Skycomish, Washington. Now before we get into this video, I kind of wanted to reintroduce myself as my channel is growing ever so slightly. So I'm Patrick. I'm originally from Oregon. I currently live in Washington State. Growing up, my family would go camping multiple times a year, so we did a little bit of hiking and a lot of outdoor recreation. As I've gotten older, I've enjoyed these activities more and more, so any opportunity that I get, I take them. And so this weekend, I'm doing just that. If you have been kind of watching my videos, you'll know that I just completed a cross-country road trip. Took about 25 days. This is actually the second time I've done something like this. Back in 2019, I did a 15-day road trip across the United States, going from Washington State to North Carolina. So here, I'm just going to give a little tour of the area that I'm at right now. And then a little bit later, we'll get on into the plan for this weekend. Okay, so like I said, I'm about 4 miles from Skycomish, about 20 miles from Stevens Pass. This right here is the Money Creek. And then on this side of the bridge, the map is calling it the Old Cascade Highway. Once it crosses the bridge, it becomes NF 6031. There is a gate right about here that's currently closed. I don't think there's much down this service road. I think there is some private land, but I am just going to go ahead and hike down it as far as I can. So let's get into it, and then we'll talk about the plan for this weekend. Alright, so the plan for this weekend, if you're familiar with this area, you'll know that there's endless opportunities for hiking and camping. So why I chose this specific spot to stay at least tonight is that just up the highway is the Heybrook Lookout Trail. Tomorrow I'm volunteering with the Washington Trail Association to help maintain that trail. I actually was out last weekend helping them, and they still have a little more work. So later today, I am going to actually do the hike up to the fire lookout tower on the trail. And then as far as Sunday is concerned, and maybe possibly later today, I'm going to go up closer to the Stevens Pass Summit, Scenic, those areas. And there's a couple other trails that I want to knock out while I'm in the area. So there have been a lot of these little creeks that have flown underneath the Forest Service Road that I've been hiking down. Now if you look in the background, that river is the South Fork of the Skycomish River. The Money Creek actually flows into the South Fork of the Skycomish River. Okay, I drove back up the Forest Service Road to the Money Creek campground. Surprisingly, it's actually still closed for the season. It's the middle of May. We're looking at the South Fork of the Skycomish River. So I think in a little bit, I'm gonna go up to the city of Skycomish. I've never actually been there, so I want to check it out. Okay, I made it to Skycomish. It was about a 5-minute drive up Highway 2 from the Money Creek area. Of course, we're looking at the South Fork of the Skycomish River. So I'm gonna hang out here, explore the town a little bit more, and then we'll head up to the Heybrook Trail. I think Skycomish has a lot of people that work for BNSF. There's probably one of the main maintenance yards here. If you look off to the left, you can see a little bit of it. Probably explains why they have this little miniature railroad and railroad museum here. After touring around Skycomish, I drove down to the Heybrook Trail. So here we go. We're going to do our hike up to the top. Okay, since I'm familiar with the project that I'm volunteering with tomorrow, I'm just going to go ahead and explain what's going on because I'm not going to do any filming tomorrow. If you look off to the left, you might be able to see some remnants of an old trail. It was getting so worn down that it needed to be replaced. Now, they have done some work on the new trail since I was here last weekend. It looks like they've filled in the old trail with some debris so that people don't take that old trail anymore. So here's the new trail. When we finished off last weekend, there was only 2 steps plus material for some of the other steps. So let's take a look at what they've done since last weekend. Wow, they made quite a bit of progress. Looks like some of these are not actual box steps. Looks like they have a water runoff right here. So we might need to build 1 or 2 more steps and then just kind of clean the place up. And then come around this corner and it's the existing trail. When we look back down, we might still be able to see the old trail. I want to point out that all those logs that you saw on the steps we had to find in the forest. They weren't too rotted out. We had to peel all the bark and then saw them down to size. So it's a lot of work. Okay, I've made it to the top. Now I had to mute the audio because there was probably about 10 people up here and they're causing a lot of noise. So I'm obviously doing this update at a later time. I think off in the distance you might be able to see Mount Index, but otherwise I'm not entirely sure what all those mountains are. Would have been nice if weren't as many people up here today, but you get what you get. So I'm going to start heading back down now. Okay, I've made it back to the trailhead and it's pretty busy up there. People from all over the Seattle area are up there today, so it's difficult filming. Plus the traffic from the highway, the trailhead is right on US 2, so it gets quite loud. The plan for the rest of the evening is to go into Index. I think they have a general store. There's some stuff I want to try to get. After that, I'm going to head back up to the Money Creek area for the evening. So I was going back and watching this next update. It didn't really make sense. So for clarity, it is the next day and I've already actually done the work party. So here's that update for the day. Okay, so I finished for the work party today. I thought about recording a update this morning, but I was just kind of sore from all the hiking that I did yesterday. I just kind of want to relax this morning. And pretty much for the rest of the evening, I'm just going to hang out here by the Money Creek campground and then find a spot to camp for the night. Okay, there's this railroad track in between the Money Creek campground and where I was staying. Sometimes you just have to take what you can get. I'm trying to stay close to Highway 2. I could go up some of the other service roads to get a better spot. In the evening, the train did wake me up a couple times over the course of the 3 days that I was there. Good morning. I'm doing my last little tour around the Money Creek campground area before heading out. Now, yesterday when I did my update, I forgot the biggest portion and the reason why I came, and that was the volunteer effort at the Heybrook Trail. Now, most of the day I spent digging. We were digging a water runoff. We were regrading some of the trail. Now, yesterday it was so busy, so I may or may not go up there. We'll see how many cars are in the parking lot, which that trailhead doesn't have a large parking lot. If there's no parking, I'm just going to keep moving on. Now, originally my plan was to go up to the Lake Serene Trail, but seeing how busy the Heybrook Trail was yesterday, I'm going to go ahead and skip that because it's not far from the Heybrook Trail. So I'm going to go to a little more remote trail, and that's the Deception Creek Trail. Now, I have done this trail many years ago, and it's a pretty spectacular trail. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm not really having a lot of luck today. The Deception Creek Trail, the service road up to it was like completely rutted out, so I was not going to be able to make it up there. And then I figured I'd come to the Surprise Creek Trail, and look at this. It's closed because of a fire. I also don't really know where the trailhead is. There is this service road that I am going to hike up to see what I can find. Otherwise, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do today. Okay, I see what's going on here. The parking for this trail has to be back this way on this Forest Service Road because of the power lines. I know if I walk probably up this service road a little bit further, I'll probably run into the Deception Creek trailhead. But I think I'm going to turn around, maybe do the Iron Goat Trail, see what other trails are around here. And if not, I mean, we'll just do the Lake Serene Trail and kind of have to deal with all the people that are on the trail today. So I was able to get to a parking spot at the Heybrook trailhead. I'm about to hike up there and then show you kind of what we did yesterday when I was volunteering. I made it up to where we did the work. Here's a side-by-side comparison. If you look off to the left, you'll probably see a little bit more debris that we dumped there yesterday. Going up the trail, if you look off the left, you'll probably see that that hillside has been dug out quite a bit. As you continue up, look off to the right, you'll be able to see that there was a lot of dirt taken out so that we could build a drainage ditch. Here it is off to the right. Now, further up the trail, I didn't do any of this work, but they did a lot of work on the drainage ditch. And that's pretty much all we did. We did move a few ferns to make it look a little bit more natural. We did stomp around a lot of the sides of the trail. So here's the deal. When I was up at the Surprise Creek trailhead, I checked the coolant on my system and it was extremely low. So I'm going to start heading back to Bothell. I want to thank you for watching my weekend trip up to the Money Creek campground as well as the Heybrook Trail.